I got a customer who added on an emergency cutting board at the last second. They just commissioned me to make a knife, and as you can see, I'm almost done with it. Deadline fast approaching. The last second, actually last night, they messaged me and were like, hey, can we throw on a cutting board as well? I still need it by Thursday, though. Of course, I'll do it for you, and I'll do it with a smile on my face. But I'm panicking inside. Now, I don't always keep a lot of exotics or hardwoods on hand, but what I do have is a scrap bucket. So let me rifle through these scraps and see if I can find something good. All right, I've got a little bit of maple, one piece of purple heart, some walnut, mahogany. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. Feels like an oily hardwood. So let me play with the design and see what I can come up with. All right, I think this is pretty good. It alternates the light and dark good enough. There isn't a lot of different, variants of color. So what I have to do now is go ahead and throw these. Ooh, that's oak. I don't want to use that. Now what I got to do is throw it through the planer and make sure everything is smooth enough so I can glue up. Now these types of planers are notorious for having snipe on both ends. So I found a guy on YouTube and he suggested that when you put it in, you lift up the back end, and when it's coming out, you lift it up as well, so it doesn't get the snipe. And I'll tell you what, it's working. I don't see or feel any of that big dip, that big snipe on the end. So, good tip. Okay, I've got everything laid out with a T for top. I'm going to be using Type Bond 3 because it's waterproof, and I'm always deathly afraid that when you wash a cutting board, it's going to fall apart. And get yourself one of these little brushes. Game changer. Just got a couple of these really awesome F clamps from my favorite store in the world, Harbor Freight. Okay, let me clean this up real quick. See if I have any big gaps or not. All right, not too bad, not too bad. A little unevenness, but I made it extra thick so I could throw it through the planer again. While we're at it, my wife's been asking for a miniature cutting board for our bar area so she can cut up limes and lemons and stuff like that. So, knocked out the rest of my scraps. Don't have much left. Well, after I glued the cutting boards up, I got sidetracked and finished this knife. And then the glue up for the mini cutting board was finished. So then I finished that. And look, it's got little feet on it. That's walnut. These are maple. I think that's maple. Maybe it's just a different cut of maple. I don't know. Anyways, I think it looks cool. That looks cool. I'm going to tackle that later. It's for my wife. You're welcome, wife. Well, ran it through the planer, gave it a good round over, sanded it to 120. Now I put some water on it to pop the grain to get the little fuzzies up. Then I'm going to go through and sand it again. And then again. All right, this is my favorite part. Oil this bitch up. My favorite is the edge grain. All right, I put a couple coats of this cutting board oil. It's just mineral oil. That's all it really is. And it seems like it's not really soaking up anymore, so I'm just gonna clean off the excess. Man, that looks awesome. So I've got a little bit of maple. Here's some curly maple. That chatoyance looks sick. Walnut, purple heart. I'm not sure what these thin strips are. This is mahogany and mahogany. But these little thin strips, they kind of vary between a little bit of a green, yellowy, and then like a dark. Anyways, the customer is gonna be so happy. Okay, just one more thing to do. Put on this little bit of conditioning wax. It's just beeswax and mineral oil. Kind of smells like beeswax. So just a little paste, rub it in. Doesn't really change the color much because I just oiled the board, but it's gonna help. I guess. I don't know. All right, I've got these little rubber feet with these stainless screws. Ah, shit. I usually just take a little square, line them up, make sure they're in the right spot. Then, watch this, guys. Here's the trick. You screw them in. Try to avoid a seam, you know? That way you won't split it. There you have it, guys. Scrap wood cutting board. Looks awesome up close. I wish the camera picked up the chatoyance in all these mahogany and the curly maple. Looks dope as hell. It's still very greasy and oily. I'm going to let it cure overnight, obviously. But pretty sure the customer is going to be stoked. So, all right. See you in the next one.